Come on into the room. Come on in to the room, damn it. I got the smokes going, my insets. I done pulled out the cards at a time, shuffled and pulled out the cards ahead of time because we ain't wasting no time. 1 second. Let me just fix one thing because I don't really like how this fuck it. That's what it's gonna be today then. Greetings to everyone about to join the room and will join the room. Welcome on in. I have the reading for the collective of the day, and also I got a lot to get off my chest because this week has been something else, even for me. Greetings to everyone that's watching right now. Greetings to everyone that's about to join in the room. And due to the fact that I got so much on my chesticles today, I'll do my best to keep up as far as people joining in and everything else. But if I'm a midstride of a thought, I'm just going to keep on flowing and going until I get a nice old checkpoint. So, without further ado, this has been one of those weeks for me where I had to really sit with myself and push for the time for myself and deal with the necessary things opposed to putting myself last to assist and guide others. I was forced by my ancestors to really deal with certain things that has been playing itself out behind the scenes when it comes to my growth, when it comes to things I need to be present, fully present about. Whether it's, once again, my favorite word to say, people, places, and things, and also when it pertains to others' intent, and sitting with the role I play in when it pertains to certain things that may come up and may arrive. And I had to sit with a lot of that. I had to be 100% real with myself. Greetings to you. Greetings to you, Melch. Greetings. And let's just say, I was forced to sit the fuck down. I was forced to look at myself and really unpack certain things. Greetings to you, Aaron. Greetings. Welcome on in. I am doing media readings for the day. I'm just going to just say a little intro real quick. And just like how I was reading the reading for the collective last week, and when it pertains to everyone, mask coming off, that could be a good thing, or it could be a not so good thing. It may feel liberating, or may not feel as liberating as it should have. But out of it, now you could walk. Now you could really discover and really dissect certain things about yourself without distractions, without someone pulling in on your energy, without someone just, using you because of who you know, or because you are close proximity when it pertains to a person that you cannot reach, but utilize you instead, but don't really value you or respect you like that. I'm talking about shit like that. Greetings to you, Saint Sebastian. Greetings. And I'm going to be doing a reading for the collective, but I'm just going to just leave this right here. 1 second, y'all. Not the link. I am doing mini readings, but I am doing the flow state conversation because I got a lot on my mind that I got to release today. And all I got to say about it is, regardless of how painful your healing journey is, you keep going anyway. You still keep showing up. You keep showing up and you keep showing out. You don't dim your light because you want to hide from certain individuals. You don't put yourself in a space to where you don't grow because you are afraid of what other people may think or may feel about your growth. You don't put yourself in a situation to where you block your own blessings because of something that you refuse to look at and dissect. Now, I know good and well it's there. My screen just froze, but we're going to keep this going. You don't sit up there and put your tail in between your goddamn legs because you don't want to hurt somebody else's feelings off of speaking your truth. You keep pushing. You show up for yourself. Regardless of somebody coming in, regardless if somebody is coming in to support you or not, you show up for your motherfucking self. You don't realize how showing up for yourself could influence and inspire everyone else that might be over processing and overthinking. Putting yourself in a whole mental labyrinth because you're overcritical opposed to being in flow state, opposed to letting yourself just speak because your heart space got a lot to say. It's just you being extra critical. It's you not really seeing self 100%. Because at the end of the day, that could be the thing right there that could slow your shit all the way down. You over processing and making it seem like it has to be a moment. It has to be a thing. It has to be something. It has to feel right. Sometimes you have to just come out there and start swinging. So I'm about to do this reading for the collective that I already have nicely placed on my computadora desk. Okay. Pulled out 5 cards plus the card that lies beneath, so that's 6 in total. Let me see if I can get some angel numbers on the comment section, some angel numbers. And to everyone that's joining in and coming out and joining in again and coming out, welcome on in. It's going to be one of those type of lives today. I didn't want any music playing in the background to throw my whole train of thought because I know that sometimes when I play music, especially if it's shit that I use, like I just be off on this, I just be off like throwing tans and shit because sometimes music could be a talisman for me. Someone's going to focus in on what I need to focus on today. First card we have for the collective, the 3 of Wands, the 5 of Pentacles, the Moon, okay? The princess, excuse me. Well, some princes look like this, and I ain't judging. Princess of Pentacles, the 8 of Pentacles, and the card that lies beneath the bottom of the deck. And this is the only card that's in reverse. The 5 of Cups in reverse. All I gotta say is, for those who it resonates with, for those out there that has been really trucking, pulling himself out of financial hardships, you applying to all these different type of positions, you feeding your ancestors that good food and that good liquors. You going out there and you putting yourself best foot forward and meeting your ancestors halfway. Congratulations. Because with this Three of Wands, what you've been doing right here, the manifestation that you've been placing, you've created new horizons for your goddamn self. Congratulations. Because you was in this space for a minute. With the Five of Pentacles, things look being a bit hard. You having to cut corners and adjusting certain things and canceling certain memberships because your priority is making sure that the rent is paid, the food you getting food for you and the churns and your dog or your cat or your mini dragon some damn where because they gotta eat too. You know what I'm saying? So things have been a bit rough for you, and you're coming out of this state of stillness. You're coming out of this state of feeling as if you need to borrow or depend on other people and ask for help from other people, even with the individuals that you really don't, you know what I'm saying, want to ask. You find yourself asking, you're out of that shit. And that's, again, I'm gonna go back to this card again. And that's because of you persevering, you pushing forward, you getting out of your own way, you not being afraid to ask for help when you need the help. Because as I've learned, sometimes your ancestors can give you the help that you are looking for just simply by allowing the help to come forth from you, no matter who it comes from. So if suddenly someone says, hey, I feel that you need this, and they drop you a $20 on the Cash App or a Zeal account or or your Chime, whatever, bucket that you're using to receive income from afar, receive it. And it's okay. Even though you a grown ass man and a grown ass woman, it is okay to receive that help. It is okay to say, you know what? Yeah, I know I'm grown as hell, but I'm not going to stay. I'm not going to stay stuck. I'm not going to stay stagnant in my unfortunate chain of events of just not having it. This isn't my life. This is just where I'm at for the moment, but I don't have to stay there because of all the work that I've done for myself and leaning in on my ancestors and my powers and knowing that at the end of the day, I'm going to get out of this. I'm going to come out of this triumphant. With this moon card upright, you had to fight through a lot of state of confusion, being insecure of yourself because of things looking a certain way to you, you just feeling as if it's one way that might not be for your highest and greatest good, but it's only something that was temporary. And the whole time you was feeling as if, you know what I'm saying, you're being punished. But that was your anxiety. And you fought through that shit. You fought through it. You got yourself in a space to where now, with this Princess of Pentacles, where you are getting out of that financial rut and that stillness. And you're getting the income now to where you could actually push forward and take care of yourself. And you're making negotiations with those who you are building your new road, your new open road with. And I'm seeing with a couple of you guys that a certain salary was given to you at first that was lower, but now suddenly they're like, hey, we're gonna pay you $10,000, $20,000 more on your salary. Shit like that is going on for people, and I love to see it. And this card echoes that with this Eight of Pentacles. This is a new start for you. And you've put yourself in a space of dedication, in a constant state of growth. You got yourself out of your own way. And now you put yourself in a position to where now you're building and you're not just settling. And the things that you have put forth as far as your finances goes is now multiplying in ways that you never really imagined. And with the card that lies beneath the bottom of the damn deck, damn it, with this Five of Cups in reverse, this is new happiness for you. You've moved past what has kept you stuck. You've forgiven yourself for those moments of you asking other grown ass adults for a simple as $20 or $100 so you can make ends meet, so you can pay that bill, so you can put that gas in that tank, so you can go out there and go on these interviews. In case the employer is on some, we like to meet you in person opposed to meeting you on a Zoom link. You know what I'm saying? Especially with those boomers out there. They love doing that shit. But you gotta do what you gotta do, right? Because if you don't show up, they're gonna select somebody else. You made it happen. And congratulations to you. See, moments in your life where you feel that you're not going anywhere, nothing is happening for you, you feeling as if that you have to be super dependent on others, but you realize at the end of the day, it's not a permanent thing. And you didn't allow it to be a permanent thing. You believed in yourself so you can manifest what you need. In other cases, also what you want. And a lot of people out there that, like I said, has been feeling stuck. Welcome on in, Rod. Those of you out there who has been feeling stuck, nothing is going right for you. I bet you when you received that email or that call saying that you got the job, your heart started to open up, the weight lifted off of your shoulders, and sometimes in your chest area. You know, that pain in your knees is gone because now you realize you're gonna be okay. Sometimes the trauma can get lodged up into spaces in your physical body, and you're wondering why. Damn, why my back hurting and this is hurting and that hurting. That's because your ass has been holding on to a lot of stress and anxiety, and it's actually made itself home in a certain part of your body that it doesn't need. Rod said, I was just thinking earlier today you was gonna be on live today. Yeah, you know, Sundays is my day. Saturday is my day too. Hint, hint, wink, wink. Sundays is my day. And I decided I ain't gonna do no flyer today. I'm just gonna come out with it. Like, surprise, motherfucker! I'm right here. What you thought this was? So I'm gonna say this once again to everybody that has been trucking, that has been doing their big one. And even if this reading doesn't resonate right now, I guarantee you within this week or so, you're gonna get that call from that job, from that career. And then some of you business owners out there, you're gonna get these clients coming out of nowhere, actually purchasing services or purchasing products from you. And that's like I said, I know I sound like a broken ass record for those who've been watching from the beginning. It's because of what you put in. It's because of what you manifested for yourself and because you believed in your motherfucking self. Okay? You did that. And regardless of you feeling crazy as a grown ass adult to ask for assistance, financial assistance, just so you could get certain things paid off, you went through it. You going through all this anxieties and self doubt and fear of the unknown and fear of things not actually going according to plan. You fought through that shit. And because of that, opportunity came forth for you. opportunity of financial blessings and success and abundance came for you. That job, that career, that stock split, that crypto bump based on a based on the actual crypto that you've actually invested in, and now all of a sudden you just got it. You just it's like everything is okay now. You put yourself out of the space of not having it, and now you're in the space of moving on forward and forgiving yourself for the things that you felt. You know what I'm saying? With all the anxiety and all the extra criticalness that you placed on yourself, you realize that was pointless. So forgive yourself. Things are going to get better for you this week if it hasn't already. And it's all because you decided to put yourself in the space to where you cannot be fucked with. And I'm so proud. Oh, I'm so proud. You keep making them good old coins. You keep going out there and showing the best versions of yourself, and you are going to be A-OK. That's the reading for the collective. Now, this may resonate to those who will watch the live for the duration of this week. And this also may go accordance to those out there that may watch it further down the line. And they find this live video, damn, this is validation. This is affirmation. Might not hit you, might not land, it might not materialize right immediately, right then and there. But oh sugars, when it does, you're gonna go right back in this video and I guarantee you're gonna comment, yo, at the time I didn't know this was gonna happen for me, but now I got this job and I was applying for this job a couple of times and they denied me. Now I got the job. It's because of what you said that you are going to do. And you made it possible because you realize who the fuck you are. And you didn't let somebody that is going through a tough time project onto you and say some shit that doesn't apply to you. You didn't make that a reality. You didn't co-create with that bullshit ass, motherfucking restricted ass blockage, motherfucking thought or feeling. Because remember, what you feel that you cannot achieve, it can materialize. That's how powerful you are. Sometimes it just takes for you to actually trust your motherfucking self and watch the magic happen from there. Now you put that in your damn pipe and you smoke that. And you think about that the next time you may go through another hardship. If you did it once before, you got yourself out of a hole before, you can get yourself right out of it again. This time with even more results because you've done this shit before. You've been here before. What's the difference this time? What's the difference this time? This time, you're able to add a little bit more sugar and honey to it just to make the blessing even more sweeter. Okay? And that's one of the blessings of manifestation work and conjuring work. You figure out certain loopholes, you figure out new ways to skin that damn cat. And then you realize what else you could do, what you felt that you wasn't able to do for yourself before you realized what you were able to do. Suddenly life is not that bad anymore. Then you start realizing the reason why your ancestors put you in the trenches that they put you through. Because I guarantee there's a lesson behind it. There was a theme that you was probably ignoring before. It was the lack of trust or the lack of, just the self doubt mentality that you have, that your ancestors are pushing you to break the fuck out. And regardless of how certain things may materialize for your day or during certain moments where you feel like, damn, I can't catch a fucking break for shit. You know what I'm saying? Then you realize, suddenly, you realize you was co-creating with the limitations you were placing on yourself. And all you had to do was just be persistent and consistent with yourself, what you know that you need, the doors and the roads that you need to open up. You can have all the materials, all the nice candles, all the oils, all the nice herbs and spices, child honey. But if you don't believe in what you're putting together to be true, you just wasting ingredients, you wasting candles, you wasting lighter fluids. Sometimes the best blessings and manifestations comes forth without the tangible things, the things outside of yourself. Sometimes it's just you speaking life into your fucked up experiences and simulations, speaking life into it and pushing your motherfucking self right through that motherfucker. Even when you don't feel like it, even when you feel like nobody is applauding for you, even when you feel like people are just coming and going. You do this shit for you, and the rest, you know, the rest is going to do what you're going to do. You can't control that. And even though you may have the power to pull people in and bring people in based on your pizzazz and your chutzpah and your swag and your beauty and all that other stuff, but what's going to keep people engaged? What's going to keep people really locked in is the love, the trust, the honesty, the transparency, the authenticity of self that pulls people in. And the only ones that can't stay around or can't stick around are those who are struggling with that, or the ones that don't feel like they need to change anything regarding that. It's like, I am who I am. It is what it is. It ain't what it ain't. And you being a mirror of what they need to work on. Yeah, they may not stay around for too long, but that's not your business. Because the real ones, the ones that really see you and see the growth and see that you're not stagnant and staying in the same space based on what other people think or what you may feel other people are thinking or feeling about you. Because believe it or not, just by doing that slows down blessings for your damn self. And you sitting up there thinking that somebody throwing some shit on you. Ain't nobody throwing that. You speaking ill and you creating blockages for yourself based on what you're saying about yourself and how you feel about yourself or what you can't do. Or I'm not as nice as her. I'm not as nice as him with this, that, and the other. But guess what? But that might actually have some truth to it. But you have something that they don't. But how would you know that? Because you keep fucking telling yourself what you can't do. Your powers, your skill set is set up differently than the next. And in addition to that, I guarantee you the motherfuckers out there that is nice with what they do, you don't know what the fuck they had to go through to get to that point where they're nice. People constantly not really seeing or appreciating their skill set, their spiritual skill set, or their value or their heart space. People continuously neglecting that because, again, how could someone who is actively healing is able to see or recognize that when it's right in front of their face? How will they know? So you can't be worried about people that can't see, that don't discern. You can't be concerned about that. You got to be locked in on those who are actually sitting and hanging 10 with you. Because everybody else's discretion and how they deal with things and how they process it, that has nothing to do with you. But you're internalizing that and then applying it to spaces and places that it does not need to it doesn't need to fit, but you're forcing it there. And this is off of a trauma wound because you're used to internalizing things that are untrue about yourself. And then you wonder why that candle ain't work. That honey pot, that honey jar ain't work. That opening road ceremony ain't work. Or you wonder why your ancestors, you keep asking your ancestors over and over and over again for the same things week after week, day after day. And you thinking they're just saying to no to your old tired ass, but it ain't they saying no. They want you to clear up some stuff so it can come in. It might be the fact that you hate receiving help from others outside of yourself, and you're applying these unrealistic expectations over yourself because it's been something that was programmed into your brain and into your heart space and into your everything. And the only way that you can get yourself out of it is to get out of your own ego, get out of your own way, and receive. Then suddenly things start happening and opening up for you. And you feeling fucked up about yourself because you can't pay a simple ass water bill of $15, $16. And you beating yourself up because you feel that somebody's going to place judgment on you. Everybody has been there at least once or twice in their life. Whether they tell you their business or not, they went through it before. So regardless of them projecting onto you what is and what isn't, based on your circumstance, I guarantee it, they're going to be in that same situation their damn self. And they're going to think to themselves, oh, damn, I was sitting up here joking and kikiing with this person about them not being able to pay simple ass expenses. And now here I am. Because life works like that. Nobody's exempt for being out on their motherfucking ass. Nobody. And let me tell you something else. What you feel, what you feel that's happening with you right now, that you feel like you can't get out of, you're going to feel real crazy, real loco in the cabeza the very next day, and how your life changed 180 on your ass. And then you realize you wasted days or you wasted that day of feeling shitty about yourself because of what you thought wasn't going to happen for you. And suddenly things just start opening up for you just like that. One thing I would also say, you'll realize through trial and tribulations, and you realize how magic really works or mysticism really works. It starts with you. It starts with what's here. You may not have, like I said earlier, you may not have the materials. You may not be able to afford patchouli or basil. You may not be able to afford a candle. It could get like that. You can't even buy sugar. You can't even buy a simple ass motherfucking lighter in the store to light up your candle. It could get like that for some people out here. But all you have to do is step out of your own circumstance that is weighing you the fuck down and say out loud, I'm going to get out. I'm going to get out of this circumstance. This is not going to be a permanent thing for me. This is only a lesson. And within this lesson, I'm going to learn it so that this simulation does not repeat itself. I'm going to get that position. I'm going to get that opportunity. These doors are going to open up for me. These roads are going to open up for me regardless of what the next have to say. Sometimes it just takes you, the internal light, that wand, like I used to say in my reading for the collective on what I used to do it on a daily basis. Utilize that internal wand so you can manifest and conjure for your highest and greatest good. I say that shit for a fucking reason. I don't just say that just out of just to sound like, oh, that sounds nice together. Utilize your internal wand. The wand is fire. That's will. That's ambition. That's drive. You looking at your situation, you looking around at your situation, you're saying to yourself, damn, I'm not there yet, but I will. I will get there. I will strive to get there. And you didn't have that money to put together that ritual that you like, and you might not even have it to where you could actually you know what I'm saying, give your ancestors an offering. It could get like that. But your ancestors know what's going on. They're not going to beat you upside the head because you don't have any money to buy food or share food with them. They know what your situation is. You get yourself out of it just by having that intent, just from having that drive, that will. As sure as the sun shining my motherfucking face, suddenly you glowing with abundance, overflowing with opportunities, which you thought was in the way. You realize you're in an open field of possibilities. And the blisses may come in a facet or in a way that you may not expect. Sometimes you just gotta let shit play. You gotta let it play itself fully out. 1 second, y'all. Because being impatient and having unrealistic expectations could alter what's right around the corner from you. Speaking of blessings that may be dressed up in a certain way, and how you can't identify the role that you play. I seen this young man on TikTok, and oh, he was huffing and puffing about the fact that his date didn't go accordance. And everybody experienced having a bad date, someone being very inconsiderate, just really being off, being really rude and nasty. That's one thing. That's one thing to vet and complain about. This man on TikTok was such duress, so angry, because his date enunciated the word salmon with the L, like Solomon. So you're really sitting up here in a tizzy off of the way that he speaks and judging him for that. It's a regional thing how people enunciate certain words. Not everybody's going to enunciate things the same way. Get over yourself. Then gets mad, and you can tell he young as hell. Then gets mad when his date asked for a cup of boiling water to put his utensils in. Why you asking? Why you asking the waiter that? Oh, you are so young and so naive and so silly. Because as we all know, when you go into restaurants, utensils are not always 100% clean. They don't wash everything out 100%. Sometimes you get a little extra, you know what I'm saying, to get the rest of the rut off of it. So he got the tizzy for that. Now, this is the part where I kind of understand where he's going. Well, his date decided to put the utensils in the boiling water without asking him. Well, perhaps you should have asked him. But that could have been a simple conversation. That could have been a, hey, going forward, don't just put my shit in there. I understand that you're trying to look out for me, but I could do it, I could put it in myself. Okay, bet. Won't happen no more. He really made a big deal out of that. And you want to know what else? That could have been his fucking everything right there. You can't come into this world requesting blessings and then complain when it's little minor things that may come forth that you could work with and work through. And I guarantee it, he'll be the same guy 3, 6 months down the line, crying to his homeboys or his fag hack friends, talking about some. I can't find anybody. Nobody. I have such a hard time and this, that, and the other. Yeah, but you written off someone off of something that could have been easily mitigated and fixed just by a simple conversation. So now your feelings is hurt because someone else did the exact same thing. Now you sitting up there scratching your head trying to figure out why this person ghosted you. The same reason why you ghosted him off of really frivolous and minor things that you did not communicate with him about. That could have been absolved. Now the karma has came forward onto your dough and you don't like it. And now you're sitting up here drunk off of some Casamigos, killing things, venting to your friends and your good Judy. But you can't find nobody. But you just written off somebody else for something really mundane. And now your date that check off on all the little minute boxes based on your unrealistic expectations. Now, here, you attract someone with unrealistic expectations too. Like attracts like. And now you're hurt and you're trying to figure out why he ghosted you. And it could have been something very small and mundane, just like how you did the other guy a few months ago. And the cycle will continue to repeat itself until you see the role that you play in your own shit and how the karma comes around the block, comes around that mountain. And now you're sitting up here thinking that the world is against you. And now you're sitting up here thinking that nobody is, you can't find nobody good. And then the more you believe in that, the more that manifests itself. And you ain't got nobody else to blame but your damn self. You ain't got nobody the fuck else to blame. Because you don't realize how powerful your heka is, your throat chakra is. What you speak out there, it comes into fruition. But because you can never do any wrong, I'm never wrong. You know those types. I'm never wrong. Just that term right there is on some bullshit. You wrong just by saying that. Everybody makes mistakes sometime. Not everybody's going to be perfect all the time. That does not exist in this reality called chaos. That don't fucking exist. Perfection. Perfection to you might be distortion and inverted shit to somebody else. Perfection is objective. It only goes according to what you think. But for the next, that's not what perfection means. And that goes with everything, especially when it comes to blessings that comes forth. Now, don't get me wrong, everybody has their preferences. Everybody got their little qualms and little quirks and tweaks to them. And they're looking for something that works, whether it's a job, whether it's a partner, whatever the opportunity might be. But you got to let things play itself out. And you really got to assess and really sit with yourself. Hey, is that really that serious? Oh, okay, I guess not. It's not that serious. Now, don't get me wrong, nobody's saying that to settle for any old little thing out there. Nobody said that. But what I am saying is, if it's something that could easily be solved by a conversation, and the person accepts it and adjusts it, that's all that's needed. Now, when it comes to certain positions out there, you don't want to be sitting up there just taking out any old thing. You know what I'm saying? I get it. Everybody's in survival mode. And just because the position didn't pay as much as the last one, don't discount it and write it off either. Because just because it has a certain pay, don't mean that suddenly when you get the job, they're going to adjust. Because that happened to me a few times. The job was pitched to me in a certain amount, a certain dollar amount, and then when I got the job, they bumped that shit all the way up. You see that? Like, blessings can literally pan itself out and paint itself out just like that. But you know your work style. You know your worth. And if you notice that something is going to impede in what you know that you're trying to grow on the side, then I get it. You gotta do what works for you and that you know that you could handle. But that requires you once again knowing thyself. Knowing thyself. Not believing, knowing. Because believing is unsure energy. And when you're throwing out unsure energy, you're going to get unsure results. I'm going to say it again. Excuse me. When you, okay, throw out unsure energy, believing, I believe in myself. Instead of knowing thyself, knowing for a whole fact, you're going to get unsure, uncertain results. Don't get mad at me for being a messenger. Get mad at that motherfucker that you look at the mirror every day for not knowing. Because believing ain't strong enough. Not when it comes to quantum. Not when it comes to espiritu, the spirit. Not when it comes to your ancestors. Oh, you're not sure? Well, I guess we ain't sure either. We ain't sure with you. Because it requires you to be in full knowing for you to fully receive it and see it when it comes and notice it when the fuck it comes. And not just throw it in a basura somewhere because it's not packaged in the way that you thought. Keyword, thought. Then you're sitting up there mad as fuck because your ancestors is like, oh, okay, so you're gonna sit up there after we did X, Y, and Z, so this could come into the play for you, and you're gonna sit up there and be ungrateful. Well, we're gonna sit around and have you sit and think about what the fuck you did or didn't do. Since our blessings, since us doing this of service, this act of service for you, isn't what you want or what wasn't going to work. You thought it was going to work for you. Sometimes your ancestors will do some shit like that because you're sitting up here being extra critical and selective and picky over the blessings that came forth that you asked for. Oh, your ass gonna hit you with the oh, all right then. So I guess you got it all the way together. And since our assistance wasn't as good, wasn't to your standard, let's see how shit plays out for you without us for a little while, just so you could see. Don't ask for assistance from your ancestors or from any of your spiritual parents for that matter. And you can't discern when they're actually opening up some fucking doors for your ass. And then going to sit up there and be extra critical and sassy with it because it's not, like I said, looking like how you thought it was going to look like. And then turn around and complain how certain things aren't working out in your favor. Listen for what it was. For those who are watching right now and you're a parent, and your child asks you for a toy or some shit, right? You bust your fucking ass for a good week or two to get that toy that child wants. A console, video game, a doll, some J's, whatever, right? You give it to the child. They have a very nonchalant, you know what I'm saying? They could either be nonchalant or excited to receive it, one or the other. But then you realize that child ain't taking care of that said thing that they asked for. Or that child decides to break it carelessly. After you spent your energy and your strength put together that so you can make your child happy, and your child just sit up there and neglects it in certain ways, in various ways that I just mentioned. You don't think that's how your ancestors feel when they put forth that open up that road for you? I'm not taking because that position's too far. It's too many get it's too this, it's too that in here. Well, damn it. I guess you're gonna have to wait a little longer and struggle a little longer then. It works the fucking same way. Yes, the ancestors could be a little bit more forgiving than living parents because of where they are, right? Your spiritual parents could even be more forgiving because of who they are and the strides that they had to endure and thresholds they had to cross for them to be that. But it will be a fucking lie if you're going to sit up there and desecrate all over what they put forth for you to help you. And you don't think they're going to feel a way about that? Oh, but you don't hear a lot of people talk like this. You don't. Because a lot of people out here ain't going to tell you the real. They're going to tell you what you want to hear, especially if you hire them to do certain workings for you. They're going to tell you what the fuck you want to hear. And then you'd be lucky to reach out to the practitioner or whoever you're dealing with that is super transparent and is going to tell you like it is. There were a couple of times where I was working with clients, and even though I might be reading a card, for example, or doing a channeling session, for example, and then their ancestors will tap me kindly on the shoulder and tell on your ass. And then I recite what your ancestors said, even though I might be doing a reading. But your ancestors are saying, look, listen, the reason why this shit is happening is because he or she is hard fucking headed. He or she is ungrateful. I told them to do this, this, and this. They didn't. Sometimes it can be as simple as cleaning your motherfucking house, doing your spirit baths, cleaning off your altar. You don't do it. Then you hit yourself in the head over and over again because things ain't manifested conjured that you thought it was going to hit. And now you're sitting up there trying to find answers outside of yourself and clarity outside of yourself when the answer was already given from within you, when your ancestors already told you. And a lot of your times, the ancestors be telling you shit, but you're just not present enough to notice they're talking to you. But everything else must be the problem, not me. Because remember what I said earlier? You're never wrong. So guess what? You're put in a simulation where you are wrong as fuck. And you out here spending your money on these practitioners to open up certain things for you after it's already been open, because like I said earlier, because it didn't show up in the way, in the fashion that you thought it was going to show up. Oh, that's not it. That's not good enough. Well, guess what? Your ancestors are going to sit up there and look at you with the crazy eyes. I'm going to let you suffer for a couple more weeks or a couple more months until you get the lesson. You don't know what your ancestors go through or what they do on the other side to help you. And they're not going to tell you that. Newsflash, they're not going to tell you that. They can't. It's against universal law. And they understand there's more than one way to skin the cat when it comes to helping their descent. So there's other ways and means for them to actually help you and assist you without violating or crossing universal law. And then they do that said thing that is unspoken just for you to shoo it away. It feels like that. And guess what? Just like a fed up parent, answer's gonna get fed up with your ass. And then when you finally do the thing that they told you to do, when you finally get that lesson that you refuse to learn from, then you notice how sweet life is becoming for you. Sometimes all it takes is for you to just do the thing. Don't put yourself in a box. Don't put your blessings in a box either. But that requires you to be present. That also requires you to be fully in discernment mode. Okay, it's looking this way, but you know what? I'm not going to just judge it for how it's being presented. I'm going to actually go for it. Now, don't get me wrong. There's a lot of scams out there when it comes to jobs and opening certain positions. So I get it. So if it comes out that way and it's like, yeah, nah, that ain't right. That's something else. I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about these scams. I'm not talking about people that text message you opposed to emailing you with the actual from an actual company or recruiting agency or whatnot. I'm talking about just because the position is paying $5 less per hour or $10,000 less salary. That don't mean that it. Because, like I said earlier, once you get the position and they realize your worth based on your performance in the interview, they can actually give you more than what you actually expected. Once again, it has happened to me before. Don't sit up there and douse your blessings and write yourself off or write off someone else because they enunciated a word a certain way, because they have an accent. Or in your eyes, you feel that, oh, they can't read. They can't read. I can't be with a man. I can't be with a girl that can't read. You don't know. You're just starting to get to know someone. You will realize people have their own ways of enunciating things. And it does not mean that they're slow. Someone could enunciate and be able to, read a book without stumbling over their words. But they can't connect with you for shit. They don't have any personality. They can't meet you halfway. But just because he or she is packaged a certain way or seem to be a particular type, then you realize down the line, oh yeah, it ain't gonna work for you. Those type of blessings I'm talking about. And you don't even realize that could be a whole soulmate, your life partner right there. But because they can't match, or they don't know how to dress, maybe they need a little assistance. They got nice clothes, they just can't put it together. How about help them out? Like, I'm not gonna sit up here and be an experiment. I'm not gonna be nobody's charity. See, then you get mad when that person that you was reading down for filth because they can't match or they can't dress or they swag don't match yours. Then suddenly they deal with someone who was patient and walked them through it. Now they got it. Now you're sitting up there mad because they're with somebody that's working with them and not against them. And they brought out the best version of themselves. And now they're looking even better than how you found them. And now you sit up there bitter as hell because they was somebody else, not you. I don't know. I'm more of a prize. I don't know why they with him. I don't know why they with her. They're with that person because that person didn't write them off because of some small, minute bullshit that could easily be adjusted. They see something else that you didn't. You were so busy caught up in external things, tangible things, but don't even realize the beauty that they really possess within here. And sometimes you just need a little polishing some due time. I'm talking about that blessing too, because a lot of y'all, I know that y'all be lighting up candles to get a little boo thing or something. Come up in your shit. I see you. But then when that boo thing do come in, oh, because he got J's that were 2 years old, I can't fuck with him. Are you cereal and milk? Are you serious? And then you miss out on the opportunity because you're caught up on things that don't fucking matter. And then you will be that guy or that girl 6 months later. Like I said earlier, fucked up off of some Casamigos, some Sveka, if they still sell that, because they don't have it down here. So I don't think so. Maybe they do, and I just haven't looked for it. Fucked up off of some Tanqueray. Because you feel all the doors around you of dating or being with someone has closed on you, or that karma that came around that you done to someone else happened to you. Now everybody else is the problem and you're the victim. It's everybody else's fault. I'm perfect because, once again, I'm never wrong. So when you feel like you're never wrong about something, source or your ancestors may tell you, show you better than they can tell you. And then you crying to them because things ain't work out in your favor or for your highest and greatest good. But your fucking friends, depending on where they are in their healing journey or where they are in life, where they are with their healing, they may tell you some shit that you want to hear, but it's keeping you stuck in your own bullshit ass behavior and perception and belief, because belief is not really knowing for sure. You're unsure. And then the cycle continues and repeats until you make the necessary changes. Identifying the role that you play. Perhaps this is happening to you because, hey, okay, I've done this, or something very similar happens to you now. You don't deserve that, even though you've done it to somebody else already, or you've done it to several other people before. And you don't see anything wrong with that until it happens to you. But then you go and hire another practitioner. You go and you burn another candle and you put all these herbs and things together to bring the right person, buying Magna oil and shit to bring in that right love. For what? If you haven't learned the motherfucking lesson, for what? To bring in the right person for you, just for you to criticize that and throw that person away like they're just something disposable and repeat? You're just wasting your own motherfucking time and you're wasting energy and you're wasting other people's time and energy. So what happens from there? You get shut the fuck down from reaching out to getting anybody coming forth for you until you learn to fix your goddamn self. Not everybody is always the problem. Not everybody else is always the issue. That victim mindset gets you nowhere. How many times are you going to rinse and repeat this loop of woe is me? I can't find a job. I can't find a man. I can't find a woman that could do this, this, and this. Well, maybe certain things that you're looking for in somebody else you could do for your fucking self. Maybe that's the lesson too that needs to be be looked into. You're looking for somebody else to do something that you could do your goddamn self. Why? Because of gender norms? Is it the gender norm thing? Or is it because you feel that you're that guy or that girl that somebody else got to do this for you? When you have two manos y dos pies, two hands and 2 feet, and a brain that works, and a heart space that has the potential to overflow and surprise the fuck out of your ass. When you know thyself, not believe, know thyself. You shouldn't be going out here looking for somebody to do something for you that you could do for yourself. And there's nothing wrong with trying to, you know what I'm saying, getting help and assistance from someone. That is fabulous. But at the same motherfucking time, if you know that all it takes is for you to reserve that time and remain committed and consistent with yourself to achieve that thing, you will realize you don't need something outside of yourself to achieve that. You got it all within yourself. The person that's coming in is just an add-on to what's already great about you. And they can see that. They see that within you. And they see how that materializes and manifests around you. And that's what brings people in and see your value and see your worth and know not to play with you. Have you thought about doing that? Once again, there's nothing wrong with asking for help or looking for someone to help and assist you on certain things. But if you are sitting up here looking for things to be done by someone outside of yourself because it's considered a gender norm, whether that's cooking, cleaning, doing your laundry, you a whole grown ass adult, regardless what gender you are, or what you're into. You could do that your fucking self. You got to also think this way. Who the fuck want to be with somebody that can't cook for themselves, clean for themselves, take care of their own shit? Who want to be with somebody that's a liability? Who wants to be with somebody that's another child, especially if they have their own children that can probably do the same thing that you can't do? And you simply a grown ass motherfucking adult and can't do it? You ought to be a goddamn shame of yourself. When I'm gonna sit up there and date some other guy that can't even wipe his ass, that can't clean up his house, that can't even scramble a simple ass thing of eggs and make some rice. I'm talking about the bare black ass minimum. Can't flip a pancake. Can't cut your own nails. Can't cut your own toenails, and because you're so used to being a kept guy to go into the nail salon and get your shit done. But what if you don't have the extra change that week to take care of yourself? Find yourself a motherfucking nail clipper and a file and get to work. And put some good old oil or shea butter on your hands and your feet. So don't be making holes and shit on your motherfucking sheets. Put your goddamn tongue after you fucking brush your teeth. Because I'm tired of motherfuckers out here with their mouth and their tongue hanging open. They got all that plaque and extra critters and things. You looking like you just had, you know what I'm saying? Like, and you think that somebody want to kiss you in the mouth with all that extra fucking corrosions in your tongue, fam? But you looking for perfection in somebody else. You see how that looks? I mean, really sit and think on that. Think about it. How that make you look? Oh, this is a good one, y'all. Those out there that want to shade you because you cut your own hair or do your own hair. You could braid your own shit. You could lock your own shit up. You could fix your own beard. Oh, well, they must be broke because you're looking at it the wrong way, fam. Because like I said last week, when this whole shit shut down, you think these barbers gonna be out here thinking about somebody else getting their line up? You think these beauticians gonna give a fuck? They ain't. How could you cash app anybody? Well, you ain't charged your phone in a while because there's no electricity or anything circulating. But they find a way out of no way. They have a clipper that all they got to do is flicker it a certain way, and it could cut your shit just as fine. Because nobody said that you had to sit up there and look like you're struggling when you're not. I mean, struggling when you really are. Because sometimes just by fixing yourself up and pulling your motherfucking self up is what it takes for your intent to be like, all right, I'm back. But because in your world, because they're doing it by themselves, oh, they must be broke. You see how you're programmed and wired? But then you'd be looking for that same motherfucker that you was reading for blood that was so broke to cut your shit. Hey, yo, fam. Um, Yo, could you fix my shit up right quick? Because I'm looking kind of. Mm-hmm. The blessings could be right in front of your face. And it's a talent that shows. It's a talent that keeps on giving. Greetings to you, Golden. Greetings. And greetings to you, Dave. Wow, some people came in. I was just running my mouth. Magnetos, KA, let me show you. Greetings to all of y'all. Blessings can be be hidden right in plain sight. But if you can't discern, how would you know? If you keep putting things that don't matter in the forefront, how would you know? If you keep writing people off as disposable off of something very small that could be fixed off of a simple ass conversation, what are we doing here? And don't get yourself upset and worked up because of the fact that now you realizing all the blessings that has passed you ain't opening up for you anymore. People done moved on. That job hired somebody else. That guy, that girl moved on because you talked about her shoes leaning. It could have been shoes that she was comfortable wearing, but because it looks a certain way, nah, I'm good. Don't even know that she got Louboutins, Gucci's, and shit in her house. But she's just not that type of girl to just be flashing and showing all her shit just like that. You don't know. You don't know someone's inventory. She was probably just wearing that because she knew she had to walk from the train station or the bus stop to get to this location because you couldn't pick her up from her house, or she don't trust you picking her up at the house. So she was like, "No, just meet me there. I'll meet you there." Because it's a good idea for you to not do that, especially when you're just meeting somebody, just have them waltz up and you have your address and shit. You even know if this motherfucker's a kookaboo or not. Don't even know if this person, you don't know. But see, because those are the things that you don't think about, this is how you miss your blessings. And it's your own damn fault. And then you're going to sit up there and be mad at the next that realize the treasure, to realize the worth of that individual. They see it fully. And now it's just you. And you warming up some oodles and noodles because you can't cook. But you're sitting up there judging somebody the fuck else because of what's going on with them. But you can't even make a simple ass fried chicken for your motherfucking self. You could barely motherfucking boil water, but got so much opinion about somebody else. See what I mean by identifying the role that you play and looking fully at yourself, fully, and being real honest with yourself? You don't even know to brush your motherfucking tongue after you brush your teeth and gargle. You bleach your motherfucking colors, fam. How do you do that? And then you sit up there mopping the house with this with the mop that you haven't wrung out in some nice hot water with the soap and bleach and pine sol and things. And then you wonder why your house smell like motherfucking Grand Central Station if you don't go on and get somewhere. But you got so much opinions about somebody else. Oh, his hairline crooked. Oh, her wig ain't shifted. Oh, he look ashy. Meanwhile, you leaving streaks of brown on your drawers, but you got so much to say. You see that? That's the shit I'm talking about. Because you don't see that and assess that, know thyself, know thyself. You thinking everything is fine. And then you find that person that could work with you. And then they discover in your motherfucking laundry basket and why the corner of your room smell like dog and cats at the same time, plural. Dogs and cats and dogs. And then they write your ass off because what the fuck? You don't even realize you have a whole demon portal in your fucking house. But you want that person to stay. You want that person to be patient with you. You want that person to tolerate you. But you can't return the favor on anybody else. That could have been your everything. You see? But I want to make this perfectly clear. If you don't get your shit together, how could you expect the blessings to come forth for you? How could you expect for the blessings to remain? Because just because you got it, that means it's going to stay. It is your responsibility to maintain it, whether that's a job, a career, a business, or a significant other that you're trying to bring forth for yourself. Just because you got them, don't mean they're going to stay. Especially if you don't change for your highest and greatest good, for your own highest and greatest good. And my mic is on. And my mic sounds nice when I say this. Because if suddenly that blessing that you lit that candle for, mix them herbs and spices together that you could have put in that Cornish hen and left it in that oven. And now you bringing forth what you feel that you deserve. And you don't maintain it. You don't show up on time. You don't perform in a timely fashion. You don't consider other people's feelings, especially the person that you was bringing in this love of your life to bring in, and you don't make sure that that person is okay. It's like the small things that you just tend to do because you feel like, well, I got him, so I don't have to do anything else. Do not sit up there with snot and tears rolling down your fucking eyes when that person leaves or that job decides, you know what, maybe not, and slide you over that pink slip for the old school folk, or will pull your ass aside in HR and say, hey, it's not working out. Don't be mad at everybody and everything else. Be mad at you. And until you learn that lesson, it's going to repeat. So you could bring forth the energy of manifestation and bringing forth that chutzpah, that blessing. But it's also up to you to maintain it. Let's not forget that. Gratitude for everyone joining in on this live and spending time. And once again, for those out there that wants a private one-on-one tarot card reading, I can be reached at neocosmos.bigcartel.com. My description, my link tree is in the description section of my page. So where you can have a private reading, you don't want your business out all out in front street. Because I know sometimes you'll be watching my shit on this live and want to do a reading, but you know what you're going through and you're afraid your ass is going to pull all that shit out. And it might be a little embarrassing. It might make you feel a bit cringe, but I ain't judging. So that's why I have the private sessions available on my website, neocosmos.bigcartel.com. And then in addition to that, I have a Dragon channel reading with my aspect Leviathan. I'm going to do a video about him. So I could get things perfectly clear, because a lot of people tend to have this negative preconceived notion of who Leviathan is. And because that is my aspect, I'm going to speak on it fully, of what really is. Leviathan can help you out in so many ways. Open roads, open doors for you, help you learn how to work with your own dragon aspect if you have one, even though we're all made up in dragon form. Everything in this universe is made up from the dragon infrastructure of the spiral. So it's highly likely you have a dragon aspect. You just don't know it, or you just didn't realize that what that was when it was happening. Leviathan could give you clarity on that. Also, with activating your dragon language and how to utilize and work with the dragon based on that elemental factors: fire, earth elements, plasma, electricity, mycelium even, which falls under the umbrella of earth, crystal dragons, dragons of noble metals, dragons of elements that you never heard of before. Leviathan can walk you through that. Just got to give him a chance. Y'all know where to find me. And you'll be surprised at what you're able to do. But every time I work with the client with that, it's always a healing theme that comes with it. So it's your responsibility to actually do the healing work. Because how could you work with your dragon if you got a whole bunch of corrosion in your heart space, in your head space, based on the traumas that you refuse to heal from, but you keep leaning on a candle every time to mitigate that for you? No, you still got to do that work. You still got to heal. That ain't going nowhere. But once again, love y'all. I'll see y'all another time. I might come back around the mountain tomorrow, or I might come back around the mountain Tuesday. You never know. Because now I'm just going to come at y'all, just to come at y'all without no flyers. I'm just going to just do it like Nike. So gratitude for everyone catching this live. See y'all soon. Peace.